Liftoff and the clock has started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi Showby with me, Ronald Biggs.
And me.
Somebody else.
Yeah. Not quick enough.
No. Well, you're nice to see. You're looking very dapper this evening.
Thank you.
look
I was
like,
hoping this jacket would look brighter than that.
yeah. Well, you're looking on the television monitor, which is
True.
a lot. There, look.
Vaguely.
Vaguely.
Less dark.
Do we need to put? If I put a brighter light on you, your face will go.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. I was trying to be smart like you.
Yeah, we
Look
are.
smart.
You are.
And fancy.
Fancy.
Wanted to match the fancy pants over there.
You look like one of those secret spies.
Well,
Mind you, I'm pretty dark. Look, I've got all dark and spooky clothes on.
dark and spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky,
Do you know
spooky.
that dark and spooky were going to be if Series 3 of Snug and Cozy, the children's television series that I
Yeah.
had in the 1990s.
They're going to be cousins or something.
No, they were going to be the dastardly agents that were there to bring Snug and Cozy back to the planet Squadge.
Oh, I see.
So Snug and Cozy being the heroes. Oh, by the way, hello, ladies and gentlemen. And Dark and Spooky were going to be green-headed aliens.
Oh.
And yeah, so they would be the same. They would have been us, but in role reversal.
Yeah.
So I would have been like the intelligent one, and Nigel would have been the goofy one, and they were destined to come and get us back. But
alas, it was not.
we never
to
got
be.
Series 3. Anyway, welcome along. That's life lesson number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get your hopes up. in television. We have a theme in tonight's show, and it is the most important lessons you've learnt, or, as I've paraphrased it, life's lessons. Do let us know. What lessons have you learned in the very long, tedious, arduous lives that you poor mortals have lived? We want to know. Have you got any life lessons that you can bring to the table and plonk down here, allowing it to ooze all over the floor in a sort of honey fashion?
Possibly, if I wasn't put on the spot again.
Yeah.
I've really got to get better.
One
at
of your
being
life
put on the
lessons
spot.
is not to leave a pot of honey around
Yeah.
when a child is at play. What
A
happened today?
2-year-old. I decanted about 80 millilitres of honey.
Honey?
Honey.
Honey?
You know, the clear golden stuff.
Yeah.
Into a little pot about that tall with a nice little lid on it. And I put it on the cat tree, because that's what I do when I'm trying to get my bag together.
Hang on a minute. We should just explain, because not everybody has a cat tree that is about 10 foot high.
It's a pole that goes from floor to ceiling that has random shelves on it
for the
around
cat
the side.
to climb.
It's
I mean,
also got, what is it called?
rope?
Yeah, it's that
Hessian?
kind of, Hessian rope wrapped around it, you know, the straw type rope.
I mean,
wrapped
it's
around
a
it.
big...
It's like a big cat.
tree. It's like, you know, you got a little cat tree that
Claw
they just claw
thing.
their thing on. That's normally about a foot
Scratching
and a
hole.
half. Yeah. This one is 8, 9, 10 foot high, floor to ceiling. Anyway, so yes, so you put it
and
on
it goes
one
up.
of
It
those
goes up
shelves.
to a cat shelf that gives the cats an extra way
It
of
gets
getting up the
worse.
stairs.
There's a shelf in which the cats crawl around, and then there's a little lift, and it takes the cats up to the next floor, and there's a wheel in which they run around and generate the electricity in your house.
No, but on a serious note, I couldn't have 4 cats living in that house with my 2-year-old if it weren't for that cat tree
It's an
and that
escape
shelf to
for
give
them.
them an escape route to evade him.
So just
Anyway, so
you
I
put-
placed the honey,
Yeah.
and then I'd grabbed the bag, thinking I'd put the honey in the bag, and took the bag upstairs to sort out a few more bits. And I was thinking to myself, oh, Joe hasn't followed me up. He's being very quiet.
He's being very quiet. There's
He's
like
being really good.
a warning to us all.
Yeah. That should have sent the alarms going, warp, warp, warp. What's the child doing? Warp. But no, I'm there going, oh, he's being really good. I'm actually getting stuff done. And then he comes upstairs, goes, Mama. Or actually he calls me Mimi. Mimi. He's like sticky hands. All like, oh, what have you got, sticky hands? Oh no. And I'm leaping down the stairs. Yep. Glistening carpet covered in globules of honey.
Globules.
Globules of honey.
Globules.
Everywhere.
Oh my giddy aunts.
That was really stupid of me.
Yes, no, that's so that is a life lesson. Don't put anything runny
No.
in any near place of
But I'll
children.
tell you what, he must have had a great time playing with all that pretty honey.
Yeah. Did he have a rosy bottom at the end of it? Did you bend him over
Not
your
allowed
knee?
to smack children these days.
Are you not?
No,
Oh,
it's
you see, that's where
against
you're
the
going
law.
wrong. We used to smack. I mean, I smacked I karate chopped my children, and in the end, their bottoms had this great crack down. My parents did it to me. I've got a crack in my bottom as well. So I used to do the same crack, and then sometimes I'd park my bicycle in there. And
Do you know-
get,
My eldest has a book about breaking the bottom. I've got a crack in it. It's a poem book.
Oh, yeah, I've got
He
a
goes
crack
through all
in my
sorts of-
bottom.
Yeah, he goes through all sorts
Dear
of
Eliza,
solutions
dear
to fix
Eliza.
it, to fix his bum. You know, she'll
There's
have a
crack
bumper
in
bum. and
my
things like that.
bottom,
It's quite
dear
funny.
Liza, dear
I'll have to
Liza.
read it to
There's
you
a crack
sometime.
in my bottom, dear Liza. A crack.
Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Fix it.
I tried it, dear Liza, but just farted instead. Anyway, on with the show. Nugget's life lesson is don't eat yellow snow. That's a good one, of course. Patrick Murphy, hello to you. He says, hope the winds have died down now by the coast. They have actually, pretty much. They are lowering. I mean, it was a bit windy today, wasn't it? But it is slowly dissipating. Wherever you are, Patrick Murphy, what's it like? And have you suffered them?
Mr. Busby says I use honey in brews. Yep, exactly. That's why I had the honey, because Joe and I were going out for a walk with you.
You did? We
today.
went out for a
a
walk.
non-filmed walk.
A non-filmed walk. I mean, is there such a thing? There was today. 'Cause
There's No, the walk didn't happen. We've got no
Didn't.
film footage.
Yes, that's
It
true.
didn't happen.
It never happened. I mean,
Anyway, that's
Joe
why
didn't
I'd
want to
done
go
it.
very far, did he?
No,
to be fair.
that's why I'd done it, to take the honey with me and have nice
Yes.
honey tea. Never mind.
Alison O'Brien says, my life lesson is that I find it hard to trust people. And that's a shame, but
Yeah, it's
it
a trick,
is true,
isn't it,
Because people do let you down.
You've got to be careful who you put your trust in, but at the same time, you have to trust someone.
In my case,
Some point.
somebody just keeps putting nails in my tyres. I had over the weekend, I had another flat tyre on my van. Same wheel, same tyre, different nail after the puncture had been repaired. So I mean, what are the chances?
What are the
chances?
It would have been a little bit more suspect if it was on a tyre that was usually away from, in the middle of the alley rather than at the wall. So
Yes,
a little bit less suspect.
Yes, it's not a huge one.
No.
Mr. Mocky says, my life lesson learned is if you think it, say it, please or offend. If you think it, say it, please or offend. Yes, I think I know what you mean.
I think
Say
so,
which is on your mind. Is that regardless? Is that what you mean?
Now, what's wrong with Pete? Why is someone saying?
What, Pete?
Sorry to hear about Pete.
Pete-
Cragratty? Is it Cragratty?
Pete and his
Really?
plastic feet.
The tree was attached to the fence, and Gail bent the tree, pulling fence down. Old fence, so fell apart. Problem, we'll be getting tree upright now. Yeah. Okay. Missed
So
it.
can you? What was it? Somebody's
His
tree.
tree, yeah.
Pete,
Colonel
Mr.
Cragratty's
oh,
tree
right.
came down.
Oh, Colonel Cragratty, I'm so sorry. Is it a nice tree? Will it burn in my Essie? Shall I come and collect it? Shall
There's
I
me
help
trying
out?
to think of ways of helping you to get it to get upright again.
Yeah.
But,
and I'm just thinking I'll come over there with an electric saw and go, "So put it in the SC, keep nice and warm. Put it in the SC, keep nice and warm." If anyone's got a tree that's fallen down and you need the assistance, the Tree Squad, we're working on Saturday actually. Tim Tricker out there in the podosphere, Vobosphere, Ricky and I are off to, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Wiz. Actually, it's the Wizard of Trees, and we think we might have a tree that we've got permission to saw up and store for 2 years before we put it on
Before
the
you
SC,
can burn
keep
'em.
far warm, put it on, anyway.
Colonel Cragratty, sorry.
Yes.
Colonel Cragratty, sorry.
But,
Sorry.
what, sorry?
Life says,
Blah, 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 blah,
life lesson,
blah.
always wear the right clothes suitable for the weather. That's a good one.
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, sorry, Emily Champion. Hello, Emily.
Hello, Emily.
Says, I've just come back from skiing in Austria and it was snowing and hot.
Well, I'm very pleased to know it was snowing, because otherwise if you went skiing in Austria and there was no snow, I mean, it's like going skiing in Australia.
How can it be hot and there still be snow? I don't get it.
Well,
what do I know?
Because
I suppose
there's something
the
to do with
snow
the
if there's enough
atmospheric
snow,
pressures
it
pushing
reflects the
down,
light.
and then there's Coalboat singing on the left, pushing up.
Anyway.
And the coherent quadrangle of the square root of minus something.
Anyway, Kerry Baldwin says,
Yes.
if I can find it, if people tell you not to do something, but your heart tells you to, follow your heart. That is sterling advice.
Yes.
Absolutely
so in other words, if the policeman says don't cross the road because there's a juggernaut coming, but you think, oh, I just want to cross the road to see the little man over there, don't. Do what your heart
Now,
says.
you know full
because,
well it's not what she means.
obviously within reason. What other little bits of... Patrick Murphy says, from Harrow in London. Oh, Harrow. I used to live in Harrow in Butler Road. Is Butler Road still there? Butler Road, fairly near the station, as I remember. But I won't tell you what number Butler Road, because I once, when I was renting, I lodged in somebody's house and asked if I could have a telephone installed, because I was, waiting for the agent to ring me to give me that starring role in some feature film that was yet to be made. And for a year, I didn't get a telephone bill. And then eventually I left, and I still hadn't had a telephone bill, but the line was in there, so somebody must have ended up with the bill. Nuggets Van Life says, my serious life lesson is you get out what you put in.
That is also very, very true.
So if you put in dirty washing, that's what you're going to get out.
Would you mind scrolling up a little bit?
I can. Scrolling up on the
Scrolly,
scrolly life thing.
Up to Mary Fennell. She says, life lesson, when in hole, stop digging.
When in hole. Oh, I thought.
When in a hole.
When in a hole. Yes. If you're in an a-hole, then I'd get out of it quick. I thought you said when in Hull.
Oh.
When in Hull, stop
when in
digging.
Hull, stop digging.
I've been to Hull.
You've gone too far.
You might want to be digging. What was it? It was a year of culture at one point, Hull.
What?
Yeah, it was a hull of a year that year. But Beverley is nearby. Beverley is nearby Hull. And there's
an actual place called Beverley.
Yes, an actual place called Beverley in Yorkshire, and
Is it anywhere near Craven?
No, Craven
But there
Arms.
is a place called Craven.
There's a Craven
I knew
Arms,
that. Yeah.
which is not named after a pub, but there's a pub called the Craven Arms in Shropshire.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've been around, 2 places I've been to. But in Beverley, there's the beautiful Beverley Cathedral with its famous...
Beverly Hills.
There might be some hills at the back of it, but it's got these 2 great big towers, bell towers, where
Sorry,
they go,
2 great big...
Yeah, the 2, one down here and a big window. There's an arch window, a round window, and I think Noddy goes through it. Brian Cant was there. And Derek Griffiths and all the others of play school. Anyway, we went through the round window. What other exciting bits of knowledge have we got? Hang on, we've got to go down now. Mark Burgess says, it's not blown down yet. We don't know what's not blown down, Mark. What has not blown down? Let's hope whatever it is.
The tree, maybe?
Oh, the tree.
Maybe.
Oh, is it the tree that...
maybe.
The tree that had the sap, that had the bark, that once knew a man who lived in a...
Steve Mitchell says, hi, Richard and Juliet. Nice to meet you, Richard. Today, I make a garden review.
Ah, Steve. Very nice to meet you. He popped round my house today.
Yes.
He was banging on the door as I arrived. I thought he had a crowbar in his hand going, I'll get in there. I'm going to get in there. I'll fix him. And he came in and I was just standing there watching him and he thrust this compost in my face. He said, and some pots and herb seeds.
Did he, as he threw the pots at you, did he shout, "You're potty"?
I wish he had given me
should
my
have.
potty because I was desperate to have a wee. But anyway, I invited him in. It's lovely to see you, Steve. Thanks for popping round. What a nice man. And he's given me... I'll have to bring them out and show you.
Yes.
They are down... I haven't even shown you yet.
No.
No. Well, as soon as he went, I had to light the SE and twiddle my thumbs and wait for Meals on Wheels because they look after me now.
They do, don't they?
And he bought a whole load
Someone's
of
got
veg,
to.
Steve, that he'd grown.
I did see the carrots.
He had grown himself.
Fantastic, really.
Well, he went to a farm shop and it was so heavy he was groaning as he carried them. It's a factum totem pole.
Quite clever. That was quite clever. Well done. That was quite
Yes.
clever.
Yeah, thanks, yes.
That was quite clever.
Yeah. What's the matter with you? You're on form.
Am I?
Yeah, is it because I said I was tired and I didn't want to do the show tonight and I was weeping in a bucket saying I can't go on and you were saying, get on with it, man. You're of sterner
Pull your bootstraps up.
Yes.
Come on, son.
If I put my bootstraps on my head, do you think they would look like hair?
I think it looks strange.
I've got a
than usual.
I've got a wig, you know.
But
But
you have.
Yes. Would you like
it
me
looks
to put
terrible.
it? Oh, what do you mean it looks terrible?
You've been keeping it in the potty. No, I'd rather you didn't put it on your head because that's
I did
gross.
put it in my potty, yes. It's very true. Sean James Cameron says, Floella Benjamin lives by me. In other words, she lives by whatever Sean does and says, she lives by him. He is the voice of reason.
Brian Jeffrey says, I have learned that no matter how bad things are, there are always others worse off.
Thank God for that, eh? Thank God for that.
Get out of it.
Somebody
Get
worse.
out of it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just
No matter
say
what it is,
there.
at least you can go, oh, it's not me then, is it? I'm not at the... You might think the world is on your shoulders and... Mind you, if the world really was on your shoulders, they would have to be bloody big shoulders.
What are they? Atlas?
Atlas? Yes.
Atlas holds the world.
Yeah, Bartholomew. He's got an atlas.
Huh.
Sean James Cameron says... Oh, he's not talking to us. Whip him into shape, Mistress Julia. No, don't give her ideas. She'll be around Linda Keynes going, here, Linda, can I borrow your whips and chains? I've just got to borrow them for 5 long, tedious minutes. Hello, Richard. Because that's how
Some
she talks,
weird
you know.
Mickey Mouse.
Hello, Richard. Come on, Minnie. Come on, Pluto. I'm Mickey Mouse. Ow. That's available on a new DVD. Just send a special email to the Vobes and you get the... Do you know, in the old days... Sorry to interrupt you, I know you're going to read something. In the old days. In the old days, in the days of VHS, I used to have to deliver... one of my jobs in my previous life... Well, not my previous life.
Spit it out.
Yes, was delivering... Before Blockbusters was a thing, and you could go to a shop to get VHS tapes of your latest films. Before that, I worked at a sound studio, and in the evening, I had to go and deliver VHSs for people, and people would come out of their house. They had no shop to go to. We'd open up the back of the car, and they would look in, and I can tell you the year it is. It was about a year after the film The Mirror Cracked, the Agatha Christie film, came out. Because I always remember that was one of the films. And another of the films was The Hills Have Eyes. I never saw these films. They were on VHS, and people would come out of their house and peruse the back and go, oh, yes, I think we'll have this film. But every now and again, someone would say, I will have this film and that film. And they would say, have you got a special on board? And at first I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And then my boss said, oh yes, we keep the specials in plain wrappers under the seat. And they're all labelled by letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D. So sometimes you say, yes, I've got this one. It's got B on it. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Have you got another one? I've got D. Oh, have we seen D? No, we haven't seen D. We'll have D. And, well, you can guess what that kind of content was on there.
No, not a clue.
Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. It's, it was, your under the table stuff, or your top of the, you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudges as good as a blind bat on a day out to Botner, wherever Botner is. So I had to carry these about, and I was always said, if ever you get stopped by a policeman, never tell them to look under the seat. I had no idea. I was an innocent young fella, my lad.
Young fella, you lad.
Those days are over now, I can tell you.
Mr. Mocky says, I think the hair and bootstraps wouldn't make any difference.
I think they would make no difference at all. Blu-ray. Yes, that's right. They were Blu-ray. Yes, good old Ray. He was churning out those blue films. Anyway... Connor MacLeod says apparently there is a boar on that part of the river. Which river is he talking about?
Colonel Cragratty says at the Vobes Show, you are welcome to have the tree if it comes down. We'll let you know. I will take pictures so you can see what it is. It has small evergreen leaves with nasty spikes on branches.
It doesn't sound a very good tree. No.
If it's a pine... Oh, it's a pine.
Oh, it's a pine.
Burgess, Mark Burgess said it was a pine.
Oh, is it a pine?
He did. He said it was a pine.
Yeah, I can't have a pine in my SC. Thanks very much.
Sean James Cameron says a nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse.
Yes. As long as it's a wink and nothing else.
Right. I know of a blind horse, in fact, and it's very lovely to watch him. He's called Endo the Blind. Look him up
Endo the Blind
on Facebook or YouTube. Endo the Blind.
Endo the Blind and his trusty steed.
He is the trusty blind steed.
Blind steed. Come on, blind Pew. Where are you taking me?
He had a nasty disease that took both of his eyes. We had to have them both removed in the end.
Did he?
Yeah, he's marvellous. He's an absolutely astounding animal.
But if you ask him for directions, he hasn't a clue. Bless his little socks.
It's funny. Any gap in the stable or barn where a draft comes through, he'll put his nose right up against it because that's a window to him because he can smell what's outside. It's fascinating. It's
a shame that the stable is right next to a chip shop, but there you are. Fish and chips. Nay, more vinegar. Anyway, Patrick Murphy says Julia has been eating all the honey. It's made her hyper. Fantastic. We must feed you more honey between now and the next show. Which would be lovely. Cheese-faced donkey eggs, says Dave Avad, apropos of something or other. But there we are. Poor old Clive Waterfall's just arrived. He says, evening everyone, due to router misbehaving Referring to last week's topic, your favourite gadget. Mine is my power bank following our 36-hour power cut last Friday and Saturday. Clearly, Clive, you need to get a new favourite gadget, namely a new router. That would be ideal. Champion the Wonder Horse. Champion the Wonder Horse. Blind as a bat, of course. Anyway, we have a number of videos actually to get through.
He was just testing, apparently, David Vad.
Oh, he was testing what?
Us, I suppose.
Oh, testing to see if we were awake.
Attention. I don't know.
Yeah, we're there. We're on the ball.
Did you say
mate.
we got a video?
Yes,
we got a few. Can I tell them?
You can. There's a whole list there.
So we have a video from Lynn B, which is Sandgate Country Park.
Yes, Sandgate Country Park. Yeah, she was, unfortunately, when she was filming at Sandgate Country Park, she opened the gate and a big sand dune squashed her. She's now no longer with us.
She's now Lynn B under a dune.
Yes, under a dune.
Under a dune.
Dune!
What?
Terry and June.
Oh, okay.
June!
Oh. Mark Burgess. We have a video from Mark Burgess. Bug's Day Out.
Yes, he goes out with a bug.
Ah.
Yeah,
what kind of bug?
Well, it's a big, hideous, hairy bug with bug eyes and bug nose.
All right, okay, that's interesting. We have the video from Charles B, which is Broughton
Crossing. Personal Connection.
Ooh.
He runs his own YouTube channel called UK Heritage Railways.
That sounds great. And then we also have a video from Bernie, Falls of Shin.
From the hills to the falls of Shin, I neither knew.
And we also have a video from Steve Agger, Mersey Ferry.
Sing it.
I don't actually know how it goes.
The ship across the Mersey, how does it go?
I don't know.
I've forgotten it myself because every time I think of that, the thing about the ship across the Mersey, I keep thinking of the Rod Hull and Emu one. I am sailing. I am sailing. I've got to go up on the roof and fix the aerial. Oh. Sorry, Rod Hull didn't do that one. Of course, it was Rod Stewart. But Rod Hull and Emu on I Am Sailing is... Anyway, you have to be there.
Anyway, so should we have a video?
Yes, I'm going to start with this one, Charles B, Broughton Crossing, because he sent it in, and I said, on Friday, and I said, do you know what, Charles? It's such a nice video, I'm not going to show it. Nobody wants to see your nonsense. Nobody wants to see it at all. And the reason was... No, the reason was I couldn't show it because of the music.
Oh,
so,
yes, that's right.
Like a good little boy...
He went away and he replaced it.
Yes, he's replaced the music with Sod Off Vobes. It goes like this. Sod Off Vobes, we're not going to show you my video. No, not at all. Charles, I'm so thrilled that you did.
Jackie Lowe's happy. She says, yes, just tuned in time to hear Okay the New.
Okay the New!
There you have another one.
It's a appropriate mullet tonight, Mrs.
Right.
Wright. You're buying a toaster.
A toaster.
A toaster.
Toaster.
Hey,
right.
There's a button here. What happens if I press it? Right, here we go. I lost the number, but here it is. Charles B and Broughton Crossing.
In the summer of 1964, my father and I travelled by train to Aylesbury, and from there we took the short walk along Stocklake to Broughton Crossing. We had come to see the Aylesbury Railway, which had closed the previous December, that ran in a straight line for nearly 7 miles between Cheddington and Aylesbury, with one intermediate station at Marston Gate. At the time, I didn't know that my father knew the railway and wanted to show me what it was like before the track was lifted. I can remember the walk along the country road and rounding this bend. There were fields here then, the houses being 50 years in the future. In front of us was the crossing itself. Looking over the gates, this is the sort of view we had of the track disappearing into the distance. We walked on up to the cottages, and stopping at one, my father tentatively knocked. The door was answered by a lady whom my father knew, but had obviously not seen for a very long time. I can remember us being invited in and having tea, but the rest of the day has faded from memory. Many years later, I discovered that she was his aunt, and he had stayed there as a small boy during the First World War, so knew Broughton Crossing and the railway in its heyday. We were to return in 1992 when my father was 80. The cottages were still there, as they are today. And surprisingly, a pair of crossing gates were still there, now set back from the road. In the pub car park at the edge of what would have been the track bed, we found a milepost and gradient post still in situ. "29 years later, and a lot has changed. The pub has changed its name and the gates have gone. Amazingly, in the car park, the gradient and mileposts are still there, but now devoid of their numbers. Some of the very overgrown trackbed is accessible, and most still exists with very little encroachment. I found these relics nearby: a railway fence post and a culvert, possibly original, running under the trackbed. With the housing development continuing, what will it be like in another 29 years, I wonder?
There we go. How about that? Wasn't that lovely?
Fantastic.
But so sad to see all those new houses just swallowing up the area. And, of course, exactly what will it be like in another 20 years? Very lovely. Thank you so much, Charles, for going to the effort of rescoring that just so you could show it on the show. We very much appreciated that, as indeed a lot of the lovely audience did there. And it was nice to see that there were still some relics from the old railway still there after all this time, but will they be there in the future?
Future.
Oh yeah, in the future. You've got to finish your sentences, haven't you?
Your words.
Your words.
Even it's a good start.
Yeah, that's right. Finishing your
words.
Sentences helps as well.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Finishing your sandwiches.
Have you been finishing your sandwiches?
I've been finishing my. Have you been finishing? Your
No,
sandwiches?
I'm not eating bread, am I? At the moment. Jackie Lowe says, interesting to see the passage of time. Absolutely, I've got a passage of time over there.
Yes. Andrew Norris says, so glad you played this. This is a model piece of documentary filming and storytelling. Yes, it was wonderful, wasn't it? Not everybody can put that much time and effort into it. So we appreciate every single morsel we get. But that was special. Thank you very much, Charles B. And
Clive Waterfall says, that's a great bit of nostalgia, Charles. Thank you. So there we are. Very much. We'd love to see another one of your wonderful videos, as and when. And don't forget, you can check him out on his YouTube channel at UK Heritage Railways. Just put that into a search engine beginning with youtube.com and you will probably find it. Now, probably. Steve Mitchell, yes, who we saw a few minutes ago, who was banging on the door and beat me up with a clod of earth earlier. I wanted to show you. You've still
got the clod of earth?
Yeah.
Don't beat me with it.
The clod of earth I put back into the bags. Just hold on to those little precious items. First of all, he came in with a couple of books for me because he knew that I hated walking. So this is 50 Walks in Sussex and the South Downs from the AA. These are the ones that you do when you're a bit, Alcoholics Anonymous. I just have a drink. I want to drink. I can't work out where I am. Thank you. Had a drink a couple of hours ago. Where's the map? Yeah, no, these are drinks from the Automobile Association. And then this is West Sussex, a year-round walks. It takes you a year to do them. So you better get cracking. There's some places here I have been to, and some...
That you have not?
That I have not.
Can't be any of
So
those.
I'm not going to any of them. No, we'll get them in the thing. What are you holding that for? So also, he came out with another little gift for the old Vobie, one-eyed Kenobi Shobi. He's seen that I've been
Nice.
interested in having a big farm, and he said, what you need in a farm, a big 22,000 acre farm, is 3 nice pots for your window. And that makes perfect sense because I don't actually have a farm. So see if you can grab hold of that end.
Ta-da!
And yes, these are lovely little bucket things. Oh,
They come in this lovely tray.
they are a bit look. Hello, number 32. Your time is up. Please come in. Thank you. Hello. Bill and Ben, the flower pot men. Flobber-dobber-lob. Flobbob. Robber-dob.
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah, so these are nice little pots, and he's got these here. Hello? Oh, yeah.
Hello!
Ah! The old candlestick telephone on the hook. Remember we were talking about that? Anyway, no, little pots, which you could put in here. Plants grow, take them out of there, throw them in the bin, and you've still got this. It's very clever. Some herb seeds, herbidaceous, some basil, some Sybil, and Manuel seeds, which is all very handy. Some little labels.
Parsley, triple moss curled 2.
These are handy
And parsley,
labels to
Italian at giant flat leaf.
stick up your nose or somewhere.
Weirdo.
And, not to be outdone, he's even thought of a Sharpie pen.
Fantastic, and he's even emailed you to tell you how to grow them.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
And I can draw a moustache.
No!
There's also 2 bags of
Mind
stuff.
you,
Oh, wait a
It's
minute.
not like I have a school run to do for the next week.
Smell that.
I'm not too stupid.
No, that's true.
I missed my chance. I could have done it.
Anyway, so thank you very much, Steve. That was so kind. I was absolutely bowled over. A whole load of vegetables because he went to a vegetable thing. And
That's
I'm going to
fantastic,
share
yeah.
some with the lovely Julia.
Ever so nice.
So now we have more videos and we haven't turned the telephone on. Any interesting comments? I wasn't paying any attention.
Sorry?
I said, are there any interesting comments out there?
Because you weren't paying any
'Cause
attention and I wasn't paying any
I haven't
attention
paid
to
any
you.
attention.
Nuggets Van Life says, just sowed some parsley last night, funnily enough.
Oh, it must be fun sitting as a vegetable person, sowing seeds. I guess onto a little around the neck, making it nice.
What?
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 What happened there?
No.
Did I miss something? Yep.
So many of you are hugely generous, kind and thoughtful, says Woody Jenny.
Yes, they're so kind and generous and woody. Jenny. They are. You're right.
Daniel Watkins says he thinks he's going to go. He really doesn't feel like it tonight. Sorry, peeps. No worries. If you need to go, then, you need to go. And
I should have
we're
gone
thinking of
earlier,
you.
actually, but I didn't get
You're
a chance.
not going anywhere.
No, but...
Gone
it's-
where?
You know.
Oh, gone.
Yeah, I needed to go to the little boys' room,
Yeah,
but I couldn't make it in time.
Hope you feel better soon, Daniel.
We will play another video, and then we'll offer the phone line open if somebody wants to call in. It's off at
What
the
was
moment.
fishing about?
Phone line.
Oh, line. Haha. Didn't get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And we still want your most important lessons. Whatever have you did? Oh yeah, I haven't. I was trying to think of a most important lesson. Oh, at the moment, a very important lesson that I'm investigating and experimenting more about, and I have been doing it, but not thinking about it. But it's been pointed out to me, and now I understand it.
What?
Oh, breathing through your nose, not breathing through your mouth, and breathing long and slow, 6 breaths a minute. Very, very good for you. Don't concentrate on that now because you won't hear a thing we say. So,
What?
I pick a video.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go for Mark Burgess.
Mark Burgess.
Bugs Day Out.
Bugs Day Out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what that's about.
Here we go. On before the bug, setting off for New Romney. Its return trip. Nice little 040 tender tank regulated. operation of 5 carriages today, including a disabled coach or 2. And the end coach there, Marjorie. That's used for push-pull workings like they're doing today. So the train's heading back now to New Romney. It's running these special trains, as I said in previous videos, for Children's Week during half term. Trains are coming out to and from the Heritage Centre here at Warren Bridge. They're running some craft experiences at the centre. But it also gives you the opportunity to enjoy the nature walks as well. It's a lovely sunny day today, considering all the falling rain we've had during the rest of the week. It's really nice today. So it's lovely to come and film this material and let you see an unusual working on a railway that doesn't happen very often. As you can see, the little stone golf course is in use today. Golfers out, enjoying the lovely sun. This little bridge is on the A259 road, crosses over the railway. And this is the Holt station that the railway built back in 2000, especially for journeys to this heritage centre. It used to get a regular service in the first year of operation, but then it was reduced to just special workings because it wasn't as popular as they thought it would be in terms of regular passenger trains. But it's nice for it to be used occasionally. The unusual thing today is the stop sign in the distance at the end of the platform. That means that the trains can't go any further on that track, and it's been taken out of use especially today for the shuttle trains to run. The through trains are still running, but they're using the other railway line next to it. But they're running that as what they call single line operation, where you can only have one train in each section of track at any one time for safety. But it does mean that they can run the shuttle train on its own whilst the main line trains are running in the other direction. Looks like another main line train to Hive is coming through. It's just passing the shuttle train. It's steaming towards us, so it'll be interesting to see which locomotive is on this service. Black Prince was on the previous one. Oh, it looks like Winston Churchill could be doing this one. Yep, so it's running on the wrong way railway line today, as I said, because they're running single line only. There it comes under the bridge. Yep, Winston Churchill, number 9 in the fleet. Winding its way across the Romney Marsh to Hive. There you go. Another train for you.
I I don't know how he saw so quickly that Winston Churchill was driving that train. How did he know that? I mean, I thought Winston Churchill was dead, but I know he used to have a hobby of doing a bit of bricklaying, Winston Churchill. But I thought they had a huge state burial for him in 1960 something or other, wasn't it? But there you are, Winston Churchill driving the train. I guess you couldn't really quite see him because I think Mark, with the best will in the world, forgot to wipe his handkerchief across the lens. Or there, or as Dave
He doesn't have Bernie Zoom either.
Doesn't have Bernie Zoom, no, that's true. But thank you very much, Mark. Interesting. Now we know what the bug is. It's a train, or an engine, or a locomotive, or the thing at the front with the funnel. I never quite understand. There's obviously a lot of train enthusiasts.
Yes.
We've had them well trained.
It was mentioned in the comments. There seems to be a lot of train people in here today.
Yes. There's a part 2 to this, but not in tonight's show. Let's hope the hanky came out and the lens gave a bit of a wipe. But thank you very much. Now, we're going to put the phone line on. I have to do a little bit of artistic magic here.
What have we done?
If anyone wishes to... What?
I'm just counting. We've only done 2 videos.
We've only done 2 videos and there's a ton more. But if the phone rings in the next few minutes... Have we done 3 more?
No, we've got 3 more to do.
We've got 3 more. That's 3 more to do.
Good old 3 more to do.
Yeah, so anyway, we can take a call. Life lessons, ladies and gentlemen. Have you got any more of those life's lessons for you? Bug, Marnie and Winston
Marjorie, it says.
Oh, Marjorie.
Marjorie.
Hello, Marjorie. Call 0793 4746790 if you would like to give us a tinkle and tell us what has life taught you. It could be all sorts of things. Doesn't have to be dreadfully serious, but it could be.
A couple of interesting comments here.
Yes.
Lord Geoffrey Harrison says, my dad was one of the crane drivers at the docks, lowered the crane when Winston Churchill went down the River Thames.
Blimey. I know he was a big bloke, but you would have thought he could have walked down there, surely. Was he like...
No, I think he means in reverence.
Oh,
didn't necessarily lower him down to the...
Oh, I see. They lowered him down in reverence.
No, lowered the... Never mind. Guildford Gent says, as a boy, I used to live near the River Rother. I tried to use a dry patch of earth in the middle to get across. Ended up knee-deep in mud and needed a rope from the bridge to haul me out.
Oh, bless.
Whoops.
That's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah. Val Pragnell says, hi, Richard, you could try growing potatoes. You can buy a growing sack on a well-known shopping site. You only need about 5 seed potatoes from a garden centre. You'll be surprised how many you get.
Oh, I'd like to try that. Do they need a lot of light? This is the problem. My front garden is south-facing, but it faces a big main road, and it's only about 5 foot from the house. So it's not very long, so people can help themselves. So I'd rather they didn't do that, really. And the front garden, conversely, is in the north, which is shaded 100%. By both houses either side of me, a giant shed and a supermarket.
Oh, you mean the rear garden?
Did I say rear?
I think you said front garden.
Oh, my rear garden, I beg your pardon. My rear garden in the north.
Yes.
Where no sun gets to it at all. No sun does no sun. No sun does no sun. Who said that? Who sung that? Who was that? No sun does no sun. November. I'll tell you, art of noise.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Spike Milligan also could drive these trains when he was alive, and he lived in Rye. We'd have difficulty driving it when he was dead, I suppose. Although isn't there a dead man's handle in trains, apparently? So
that rings bells.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't ring any bells.
Does it ring whistles?
I don't know.
Boop, boop.
Tell us, train people.
Yeah, there's a dead man's handle, as far as I know, so that if you die while you're driving the train, unless
if you
unless
release
you're
it
a
stops.
corpse or something. A corpse riddled with mortise. Oh, it's
It's
only
probably
because
me with the headphones near the microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
FAB.
FAB.
How the devil are you, FAB?
I just quickly let you know about how things can be changing one's life since one of life's biggest lessons could be falling over without being your fault at the same time, breaking your hip and having 3 cannulated screws and a titanium plate, and being in bed for a good part of 13 months. That's one of life's absolute lessons in the world of tolerance.
Oh,
So
gosh. Is that what happened to you?
that's exactly what happened to me.
So just give us that again, but in slow motion. What happened? You tripped on...
Well, I was walking with some lovely loafers, those lovely shoes. That's,
Oh, yes.
brand new without any grip. It was wet, and it was walking over a man cover kind of thing on the pavement kind of thing.
So wait a minute, a shoe with no grip. That's that's a lesson in itself, isn't it? This shoe, you can pick up a shoe. Wait a minute, this shoe's got no bloody grip on it.
Yeah, they don't by definition have much grip at the best of times. These are so-called posh shoes, where you've got
so you're
loafers,
paying through the nose, which is a strange expression, isn't it?
Isn't it? What did that ever mean in the
I don't
first
know. You
place?
put the money in your ear and it comes out the nose, I think. So you're paying a huge amount of money for some shoes which do not do really what shoes are supposed to do, and that is give you
protect your feet and help
protect
you
your feet and keep
falling.
you from slipping over.
Yes.
Purposely, these shoes are designed to slip over. And then, so not only that is a life lesson, never buy them again. Don't take these outside on a drain cover.
They weren't kickers, were they?
Kickers?
Kickers.
They were slippers.
They could well have been slippers.
Yeah.
All I would have known, not. But
So what happened then? You slipped on this drain cover.
And then I was lying on the pavement for the next 5.5 hours while waiting for a ambulance to turn up. So
When was this? This wasn't during the COVID times, was it?
This was just amusingly just before COVID.
Hang on, you said amusingly. I've just now got to laugh. I beg your pardon. I didn't mean to laugh. It's only it was amusingly. So what? Are you telling me that the ambulance service was that rubbish before COVID?
Well,
In Stroud, I mean, I know that you've got, in the lovely hills where you are, they probably, these ambulances, perhaps still on elastic bands, can't quite get up the hill or whatever. You're lying on the pavement for how many hours?
5.
5 hours.
That's a long time to be on pavement.
And presumably nobody dare move. Did anyone know you were there?
I had
I mean, they would have been quicker to have got some builders in with pneumatic drills and dig up the pavement with you on, because I'm assuming you couldn't move, and then got you on the back of a tractor and taken you into hospital. 5? That's despicable.
I know. And if you want to know what was equally interesting, I was then in the ambulance at the entrance of Gloucester Hospital in the ambulance for a further 4 hours.
Oh my! Talk about tolerance. And are you in agony all this time?
To be honest with you, it was
Be honest, because we don't want you to lie about it.
Well, it was very tiring by the time that I was physically tired. But the fact, I think pain subsides when you get tired anyway, and
can't be bothered with it.
Can't be really back.
Was it cold? Were you cold? What time of day was this?
This was between the hours of 4 o'clock in the afternoon and going around. I got in by 9 p.m. in the hospital, and I was in the corridor for a further 2 hours before I was seen. And then I went through the night and I got into the ward.
Have you upset them?
Transferred.
Have you upset them in Gloucester then? It's like,
No.
FAB, he's fallen over. All right, we'll take your time. Take your time with him. That's absolutely outrageous. Did they look up? Did people come up to you and say, "Would you like a blanket? Would you like a cup of tea?" I mean, whilst you wait for 5 hours on the floor.
I had a several cup of coffees to keep me going.
Yeah.
Which was thankfully very, very lucky. But this is like why I said amusingly before it was COVID. It was just the fact that it is how, if you want to talk about being really busy, then COVID takes to a whole new level. That there's this idea that they were really stretching the ambulances, even coming in from Bristol.
Gosh.
You know, and there were over 20 ambulances at the entrance, and I was there just prior to the COVID.
So it just goes to show what a dreadful state we're putting all our money into the National Health Service, and before there's a panic on, such as the pandemic, we weren't even prepared to pick people up off the, it slipped over after buying posh shoes.
Daily Walker says should have called International Rescue.
Yeah. You would have better with Jeff Tracy and some strings attached to him, and brains going, I don't know, Mr. Tracy, I don't know. And the hood coming in.
Brilliant.
FAB. But here's another thing is, 5 hours, you're lying there outside, prostrate on the ground, thinking, oh, it's that feeling when the old bladder starts to fill up. I've had 2 cups of coffee. Did you need to have a wee? You were on a drain cover.
No,
I suppose you could lop it out and just...
No, I didn't actually drink that much, thankfully.
Can you imagine wriggling around on there?
Because I left the cafe, so I went to use the lavatory anyway, so I was out on...
You had just been when you fell over.
Yeah, basically.
So you couldn't...
Luckily.
So just to cut to the chase, because time's ticking, of course, what had you done? What had happened to you that you couldn't obviously get up?
What was the
I broke my hip. Well, I broke my hip, and it was then surgically fixed up with 3 cannulated screws and a titanium plate.
Gaffer tape would have done it. A lot cheaper.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So how long were you in hospital for?
I was in for 2 weeks.
All right. And when you went home, please tell me you wore a different pair of shoes.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. That's one of life's biggest lessons.
Yeah, they went straight in the bin. Straight in.
Absolutely not. So I still got them.
Is that right? FAB, it's been fantastic talking to you. Sorry to lose you.
Before you go, Before you go, bore, meaning like earlier, there was a guy that stated on.
Is that the 7 bore?
To do with the 7 bore.
Yeah. I've seen many bores along that river. Most of them telling you all sorts of really dull stuff, but I haven't seen the 7 bore. That was a bad joke. Yeah. Anyway, brilliant.
I know, it's appalling.
I know. Well, I don't know how I got away with it. Really, I don't think I did. But listen, lovely to talk to you. Look after yourself.
Anyway, take care.
Take care,
Julia, and goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
God,
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Can you imagine? Thank you very much. We're going to play another video, so please don't call in for a moment because we got one more video time to
Station
get in.
Master's Choice says the final time Lynn, his wife, late wife, went into hospital back in 2019, we waited 9 hours for an ambulance. That is horrifying.
That's amazing, isn't it? That in this day and age... I
can't imagine what you went through.
And we've had all this money spent on this joke for the last 2 years, which affected so many people, and thank God now we've had all the the nonsense lifted and all the legal requirements lifted, so we can use common sense. But it's going to be a long time before we have enough money so that if anybody decides to buy those horrible shoes with no treads and slips over, you've got to wait all that time. It's just it's despicable. We need another video from you,
yes,
Julian.
Hang on, we've done that one. That's all we've done, isn't it?
We haven't done Lynn's, and we haven't done Mr. Agger's. Lynn's actually got pushed round from last time.
Let's do Lynn.
So we better do Lynn. Lynn, she went to Sandgate Park, and no idea actually where Sandgate Country Park is, but she went there, and we're going to have a look and see what it looks like. If I can find it on the computer screen, I have. Lovely pictures.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Now we know a lot more. Well, we got some nice images of Sandgate Country Park. And if memory serves me a lot, there was no gates made of sand at all. So I don't know how they managed to get that. Earlier, thanks, Lynn. Earlier, there was a comment. We talked about why is it that people say you pay through the nose? Sean James Cameron's come up with the answer.
He says, in the 9th century, the Danes conquered Ireland and imposed a tax called nose tax.
Nose tax?
Excessive taxes were imposed on each nose. Ooh. Accordingly, one had to pay through the nose. If you failed to pay this nose tax, it was said that they had their noses slit in punishment.
Oh, gosh, can you imagine? So if you wanted to avoid the tax, did you have to have your nose removed? Oh, no. Imagine poor old Kenny's nose. Not mucking about. Who knows? Oh, see what you did there?
You nearly didn't get that, did you?
And very, very close to nearly not got any of that. Fantastic. Colonel Craig Ratty says, life lessons, don't listen to people who hide things from you. I have a WYSIWYG attitude. I had a wig. Did I tell you about mine?
Yes, you tell me about your wig. You told everyone about your wig.
Yes, I wanted to wear...
Alan Davies' wig.
Yeah, Alan Davis is not... is he Alan Davis still around? Is he still doing... He does QI, doesn't he? Doesn't know very much, but he used to do it. We've coming to close to the end of the show. Hopefully nobody's been calling in whilst we were there. There's a text here. By the way, I wouldn't borrow to text in on this number. I can't respond. Rarely do I get to see them, just so you know. This is purely a
call-in number.
Yeah, call-in number for the thing. So sometimes we get text. I get a notification to say you've had a text, but I don't always get the actual words. As I say, I can't reply because I haven't got any credit. I know it's a bit of what's it called? Somebody who doesn't... what's a skinflint. But I've just got a card, one of these pay-as-you-go. I don't have to pay anything because I don't ring anybody back. But it's just so that people can ring the show. It's
just a show phone.
It's a show phone.
Just to receive phone calls during the show.
So there we go. That's marvellous. Carol says she's walked round Sandgate Park a few weeks ago. I have a hilarious video of my friend climbing the fairy bridge.
Oh, could you send it in? Could you? Would you?
Would you?
Please?
Could you? We'd love to see it. But that's it. 9 o'clock, 9:00 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Another hour of hard, tedious work from us.
Where did that time go?
I have no idea. Don't forget, you can, of course, support the show by sending a little donation or a lot. If you are one of those...
Sean James Cameron has put a link down in the conversation.
Oh, yeah. If you're one of those people, say you're about 97 and feeling the ticker about to go, but you've still got just enough savvy to sign your life savings over to the Vobes Show, do not hesitate.
Contact a lawyer.
Yeah, to contact your lawyer and get it done, because we are impecunious people and we need your help. But if you enjoy the show and want to keep it going, that's the thing to do. But we're going to be back, I'm going to be back on Wednesday.
Why did I say Thursday?
Did you say Thursday?
I went... Isn't that right?
Yeah, and then you'll be back on Friday, won't you?
I'll be back on Friday, Daddy.
We are trying to get some more guests for you. The Queen was going to come down and do the show.
But
my husband and I.
COVID.
She's got COVID, so she couldn't get any cover. And who else were we going to have? Your friend, the singer, she was going to do a show with you.
Oh yeah.
What was her name?
Dua
Lipa. But she had to get to a small pier and do a leap off that. But that's it. Anyway, there we are. Enough things. Wiffle waffle. What was the other next show? Is things that you should have done but you never told anybody, or something like that, wasn't it?
Things that have happened that no one will believe.
Oh yes, things that have happened to you that no one would ever believe. No one believed that in the last years of the 19th century, minds inscrutably larger than mine drew this earth on a small pad in Kensington and made some plans against us. That was an alternative version of the War of the Worlds by Jeff... somebody or other, Wayne. Anyway, that's it from us. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good grief. Good heavens. Goodbye.
We forgot this, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Damn it. We were going to do this on Wednesday's show. And I'll have to make it Friday's show because otherwise it's your thing. We want to know if this really does an hour So we're going to put it on at the at the beginning of the show. We would do it. Somebody suggested that actually and said you should put it on, and I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do it. And then you know what?
Didn't.
Forgot.
Yep.
Right, that's it. Cheese and crackers now for us. Toodle pips. Bye for now. Big thanks to Judith and Sean for their wonderful work in the moderating corner.